Hey, I just thought this might be of interest to some people, the checklist we have to do to get ready for a flight. It's about a half an hour, but I'll abbreviate it here in like 1 minute or less. So basically, this is what we do. We arrive at the plane, we check over everything just as an overall check over, make sure that it's sitting right. I've already actually undone all the covers and put them away, and I've taken the chocks and the blocks away from the wheels and taken out the pedo tube cover, which that right there is the pedo tube, and all the rags for the bees to not get in and make nests, and take the bird covers out, which they go in here so the birds don't get in there and make nests. And then I've already put the flaps down as well, because we're going to check inside at these little connections here, right here, the flaps, to make sure they're all operable with the flaps. We also go inside the ailerons. We check each one of these little things, make sure they're movable and the ailerons are operable. We check all the lights, the beacons, the wing lights. We get a dipstick and get a step ladder and get up there on top of the wings to open the fuel cap and make sure the fuel is full, even if you know that it's full and you filled it up last time. You still get that step ladder out and the dipstick, and you dip the tanks to make sure, because siphoning can happen. So yeah, and check the baggage door, the fuselage, the horizontal stabilizers, check the tail, check the elevator, check the trim tab. This is the trim tab back here. And we also check with the tail and the rudder and make sure inside there's no problems with the cables, moving those. Here's your trim tab here, and you check also inside there. It's quite a big long check over, and usually it would take me about a half an hour to do that. We also check, of course, take the tie downs off, and I said about the fuel. We check the main wheels, the other wheels. Actually, there's a bald spot on the wheel here last week, so we changed out the tire. Check the windscreen, usually do a quick once over on the windscreen with some cleaner. We check inside here in the oil, also just checking to make sure no birds have laid any nests, that sort of thing. And you take the dipstick here. I won't do it because it'll get me all messy and I'll have my phone covered in oil, but that's my next step. I would check the oil and fill up the oil if necessary to 7.5. Carburetor, the air filter, check landing light, nose wheel, the strut, the oleo, which is that shock there for the nose wheel, fuel quantity, the filler cap, the sump. Quite a list. Here's some of the stuff that we do. Flip the page here. The next page, after you've done all the exterior, then you start the interior cockpit check. So we're just going to go inside the cockpit. There's a lot that we check inside here. I'm just setting up my iPad, so I'll set my iPad up here so that I can use ForeFlight, which is a fantastic app for pilots for navigation and a lot of other stuff. This is the fuel shut on. There we go, put it on there. And I've already set up my headset and everything with the noise cancellation. And here's your master switch. There's a whole big check that we do for the interior cockpit as well. And then we get our harness on, make sure all the baggage in the back and the rear cargo is all stowed, put our flaps up, do a whole bunch more interior checks, as well as then once we push the plane away from its parking spot, then we can do our run up. And we start the engine, and there's another 2 pages on this list here for the run up and the engine start. Then we contact the tower. I see over there, it looks like it's they're using runway 16. Yeah, a little bit of a tailwind for runway 16, but no big deal. It's only about 3 knots. If it was maybe 5 or 6 knots or more, then we would switch runways to runway 34. And yeah, I'm gonna get in now and start some of the checks, do a more thorough exterior check as well, and then head out for a little fly. And then we have to do the whole thing all over again here for our post-flight, which is the last page. Okay guys, don't laugh. I know I have to have 2 cushions behind my back and 1 cushion under my butt to be able to reach the rudder pedals. So don't laugh, that's what I gotta do. I gotta sit the seat as far forward as it goes, plus have these cushions. But hey, it works for me. Okay, we're off. Copa for Kids route, here we come.